Hello everyone and welcome to the LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're today for the Dutch Grand Prix and we've got a very interesting situation during qualifying. It is raining, but it's dry at the moment. The times you see on your screen right now, well, it's looking like it's going to be it, to be honest. The track will only deteriorate and Peanuts is on pole position, not by that much of a margin, to be honest. Dave Raptor's P2 just missing out around the final corner to start another lap, but you can see the grip is dropping. Zingy, is there any way that they can try and improve on these times, do you think?
No, the track's far too slippery at the moment. You can see the water on track's far too substantial for these slick tyres to get any grip at all. The tyres are going to be cold, and yes, the track might be cooler, but it gets a point where it's too cool and you can't do anything. It says a Red Bull in the wall. Is that Alkio? Yes, it is. He's made a mistake on the back corner of turn 4. That will catch out drivers a lot, and it's proved Alkio in the conditions. I mean, yeah, he just dropped it. You can't really blame him.
Fair enough. We go with Peanuts. We stay on board for their lap and see what they can do. As they are the pole sitter right now, we'll see if they can improve, but it's just not going to happen. We'll watch until we get to the sector line, and then, you know, that's going to decide qualifying pretty much. Some people further back might be able to improve. JJ, can he try and get some sort of lap in? I don't think so. I think that is going to be P16 for him, unfortunately. That is a big lock up there for Peanuts as the track is so greasy. Dave Raptors doesn't even bother going into the pit lane, and he's been crashed into by an Alpine for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what the Alpine was doing there. Maybe not thinking. Luckily, Dave Raptors hasn't got the grid place penalty, but Becken has got the grid place penalty, and I hate to say it, but I think that's probably justified there. I do apologise to them. Big mistake from Devon Young as well as he tries to improve.
I mean, yeah, you can see there's just no grip for him whatsoever. Probably a bit frustrated, unless he's just trying to get some temperature into his tyres, although he's missing a front wing, so I don't know why he's beaving so much. Maybe just try to feel the conditions to see if he can go it for another lap once he gets back into the pits. But at this point, it's almost enters. DRS will be disabled any moment, and when it's that point, I mean, you got drivers spinning off and all sorts. It's, yeah, Gunter's just spun again. So it's intermediates, and I think that's qualifying, really. You've got 8 minutes left, and there's still nothing. I don't think anything will happen.
Over before it started, that is going to be qualifying, as you say. I don't think there is much point in any of the drivers continuing, although some drivers are going to try and complete a lap on a wet surface. So, well, never mind, it is what it is. We want to get started with the race, but I guess they're just going to run the clock down, which they're not against doing. They can do it if they want to. JJ's going to do everything he can to at least get a time in, but to beat a 1:11 isn't usually too bad, but to beat a 1:11 in wet conditions on a slick tyre, that is virtually impossible. He does go purple in the first sector, but that is just a visual bug, I believe. I very much doubt he's going to have enough lap time to actually improve further up the order, and that is the price you pay if you sit in the pit lane too long. Across the sector line will go. We won't know his sector line according to everything else. That is going to be a McLaren on their way out. Robbo to get a feel for the Inters. Does that mean we're going to have Inters maybe in the race, or is that just they're driving for no reason? JJ almost finishing the lap. Alrighty, up to the line. What's it going to be for the Ferrari driver? It's going to be a 16, and that is going to be how it goes. Oggio's retired from the session, as he is not going to improve. He knows that, so there's no point. Other drivers, I assume, would also, but I think some people are going to go out to try and get some times in under these conditions with intermediates on, of course. They want to try and get some wet practice in. I really don't know if it is going to be dry or not. If it's not going to be dry, this makes sense. If it is going to be dry, then it doesn't really make too much sense. But anyway, it is what it is. What we will quickly mention is that this is going to be the last race until a 1 week break, and you guys will be able to enjoy the Las Vegas Grand Prix as it is, and there will not be an LSI race until the week after, and we will be in sync with the real life Formula 1 calendar with Abu Dhabi as their finale, but not as our finale. As our finale will be a lot later on into the season. We'll go round 10 for Abu Dhabi. We've actually got round 13 to finish off our season. Alrighty, I think this is gonna be how it goes for a minute. We'll see a few drivers setting their laps during the qualifying session, and that will be that. So unfortunately we won't get racing just yet, but it's no problem at all. Unfortunately, Terence says that they have applied the wrong setup, which means that they've probably applied a wet setup on instead of a dry setup, which means they are going to be a bit of a brick wall on a straight. But that being said, it is the Dutch Grand Prix. You need a lot of downforce anyway, so it's not the worst circuit to do such a thing at. Find out what we can see in a moment, but I am going to quickly take this opportunity to sort something out, so I do apologise for the delay. And then we will be right back at it very, very shortly. Sorry for this. We will be good to go very, very soon. Okie dokie. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Rest of qualifying on its way. I don't think I'm muted. Just to double check. We're not muted. We're all good. And we should be streaming our screen. Just about now. There you go. All good. Now, many people are on their way out of the pit lane to get some laps in. Many people aren't. Many people are just using this chance to relax, basically. So it is what it is. It is how it will go. We shall see. That's actually not a wet setup for Terence. It's actually just an old setup, so it's not actually that bad of a situation. After all, he will be absolutely fine. He can still race, it's just not the perfect setup that he wants and probably practice with. So it is what it is for him for now, but he can still get a decent result. It's going to be an interesting circuit. Always is around Zandvoort. Lots of drama usually filled around the Grand Prix. So we will find out if anybody is going to be showing the drama on circuit or not. We'll go on board with Devon Young, who yet again is out in the wet conditions, this time on the correct tyre for the session. We will find out what he can do, but obviously there's going to be no improvement, so the time will only show up on our right hand side, and that's about it. It's not going to be logged down or anything. As a better lap time, Gilly on his way out as well, it looks like, as he plops on the intermediate tyre.
Yeah, well, there's not going to be any improvement, but say for the race, it is raining. They could be getting some practice in. People obviously, Devon Young making a massive mistake catching out the final corner. But yeah, I mean, if it's raining for the race, only for a little bit, it's always good to get that extra 1 or 2 laps, especially because the wet tyres don't really wear out as much as the slicks. And your point about Terence's setup, out of all the tracks to have a wet setup on, if it is dry conditions, this is actually one of the better ones, considering how high downforce and just how compromising it is on top speed anyway. So I think even with a bad setup for the dry, it might still be okay.
Indeed. Devon Young is the lead car on the circuit at the moment. We have a Williams, that will be Monk. He is the only Williams on the circuit right now. We of course have the Ferrari of Gilly, who did end up going out, and then we got an Aston Martin, that is Terence, also on their way out. So they are trying to get some laps in. I'm still convinced it's going to be a dry race, so I don't think this is necessary, but we got 2 minutes to go. They are allowed to use this time, so why not? They might as well. We've got Becken, who's retired their car. We've got Tom Brainer, who's retired their car. They don't see a point in carrying on with the session as they are. Let's look at the starting grid though. Peanuts takes another pole position. Dave Raptor's in P2. Yet again another strong position for his championship, but I think the championship's probably decided already. The gap that he had was absolutely colossal, and he hasn't exactly done a bad job. That is a lot of oversteer for Devon Young, but well, I was going to say well held. Unfortunately, didn't quite get held for as long as we would have hoped, but it is what it is. Becken in P3 doing a good job as well. Can he get a race win under his belt? Devon Young in P4, so they're competing for the Constructors' Championship. That is what it's going to be all eyes on. Robbo in P5, and then of course we have Tom Brainer, Flexard, the two friends in the lobby. Can they do a good job? We'll see. They've been pretty unlucky in the past. They just need a little bit of luck to go their way, and they might be able to get some good results.
Just to let you know that Becken has a 5-place grid penalty, so that's going to promote both McLaren and AlphaTauri of Devon Young and Robbo, respectively, up to P3 and 4. Becken will then drop down to P8, which will be behind Gilly. So Gilly, even in qualifying, doesn't get any penalties, and he still manages to make places up. I don't know how he does it. It's incredible.
Stay clean, and that's what you need to do. He's done a good job.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've just got a couple more seconds left of qualifying, and then we will finally be on for the race. Sorry to keep you waiting, but thank you very much for your patience. We'll go on board with Terence for the final few moments of the session as they will come around the final corner. Will they get another lap in, or are they going to run out of time? They're going to run out of time. There's no way they get another lap in. Surely not. Surely not. They did get another lap in. Somehow, by the nick of time, they've managed to get it done. And we will watch a full lap from Terence. Devon Young goes to cross the line for the final time. So Terence is the only one on track. And he's got to take this moment while he can. All eyes are on him. No one else around. We'll see what you can do. We go down the hill. Turn 7, I believe this is. Gonna have to brake and lift a lot. Lost the front a little bit on entry, but got it together. Middle sector, very, very tricky to get right, let alone in wet conditions. He's doing a decent job of it. Using the rear. Keeps it in a straight line though. You can see the car control is pretty good despite it being super late. He has changed his sleeping schedule for Saturdays for his Sunday.
Oh, it's airfield.
And that is going to be him out. But yeah, he's changed his schedule so he can somewhat concentrate, even if it is a little bit late. But yeah, very, very dedicated. Thank you very much, Terence. Hopefully it goes well for this man in the race. We will find out very, very shortly. Here are the results. Peanuts on pole position. Dave Raptors in P2. Becken qualifies P3, but will be dropped down. So Devon Young will be the next top 3. We'll scroll through the rest. We'll go through the race director just in case, and then we will be back for the race. We will see you in a bit. Ready, hold, Go! Who's going to get it into turn one? We are finally away. The Aston Martin on pole position. The McLaren, that's a car into the wall. Unfortunately, iBad Monkey is involved and JJ is already out. The 4 safety cars deployed. Everyone will overtake the safety car. And what the hell happened there? Under safety car conditions, Dave Raptors has been involved in a crash with iBad Monkey and his debut is already over. What? Does you see that there?
No, unfortunately I didn't. Monk's lost the front wing. Monk has a tendency to lose front wings for not much fault of his own, and on the hard tyres he can switch over to the mediums and do double medium, which I wouldn't say it's a strat, because I have noticed that the medium tyres after 16 laps, I mean we seen it yesterday, that after 16 laps they just kind of die off, so you want to have that hard tyre for an elongated period of the race, and he's forced to now do the alternate strategy because of his frontline loss. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else who's lost any part of the way. Not really. Tom Brainett up to 4 forever. Remember him, he said he was practicing quite a lot, and he's, I mean, so far showing off how good he's doing, so good luck. Good job, Tom.
Good job indeed. And Zingy, you've just seen your POV, you've just seen your teammate crash, who is also has been a championship rival throughout the season. Are you happy? Are you sad? You've been in that situation before.
It's much better to win the race on track than beat your teammate because they've made a mistake. Me having an accident-prone teammate, I've been through that many a time, but I mean, it's a shame, isn't it? Dave Raptors, though, I mean, you know the guy, he'll probably come back eventually and somehow get up into the points. Robbo, with his wacky strategies, will probably find a way to lead the Grand Prix, which we haven't seen much of recently, haven't we? There's not been much of those weird strategies. It's been a bit upsetting.
This is the circuit to do it at, though. There's a lot that can go on. Lots of strategies can work. The downforce really makes the tyres work, so you can get a lot of performance out of the softer compounds. You can get a lot of performance out of the harder compounds because of longevity. So it can really play into each tyre's strengths regardless. So anything can happen. We will find out. Interestingly, I think Monk, did he get that penalty? Is that for a contact under the safety car? So he will have to serve that unless that was speeding actually in the pit lane. That is the more likely option. Peanuts leads the way. We might go for a very, very late restart just to warn everybody. Devon Young sitting in P2 on the medium tire. He needs to try and get a good start. Didn't really have a chance to actually fight due to the crash happening very early on. Just waiting for confirmation. You do get it very late. Everybody's going to all of a sudden bunch up. Everybody's going to have cold tyres because they probably didn't realise that it was coming in. Peanuts is going to be the one to try and get the biggest gap possible immediately against his rival Devon Young. Can he get the jump on him? At least as it's not before the line. And he goes racing once again. Peanuts into the lead. There's a Ferrari on the hard inside, interestingly. The lead is going to be contested. That's going to be Devon Young having a look to the inside. Space is left. And he's going to try and get him on the exit. Oh, with the grip, he will stick his nose in. He's going to surely have to back out, but no. Still there. Switchback available on the exit. Is it going to be possible? Will he have the traction up the hill? Using the energy. Going to back off, let that one go. Further behind, lots of people switching up. We got a side-by-side moment up the hill with the Mercedes. Of course it's the Mercedes, they always are, and that's Devon Young actually sending it to the inside. Perfect stuff there from him on the at the start. I didn't actually get to see that one though.
Yeah, he went right up the inside, turn 7, the fast right-hander. He managed to make it work with the grip advantage. Looking for a back. Is that Jack Lever? Yeah, he is. He's making a move on Larlick for the final points position. Gunter's made a mistake. Jack Lever's round. He's lost his wing. Who is that also? It's Larlick has also lost his wing. And that'll be a virtual safety car. 2 laps into this race, and oh my days, there's a bit more crashing up ahead.
Interesting. Lots of people trying to tussle for position as they're not entirely sure where they should all be. People trying to return positions, people trying to gain positions. It all gets a little bit difficult. Luckily, we're okay for the minute, but we will find out if anybody's illegally overtaken or not. Someone into the pit lane. Yep, that is going to be a couple into the pit lane. As the McLaren has a look, but then they had to back off in the end. That is going to be Gilly. Does he have damage?
You think so? No. No damage.
Hard tyre. He's going to try and go to the end already.
Well, I mean, how much laps do the hard tires do? Like 25?
Yeah, they can go longer, obviously, if you really tried, but Pursoon pitted around about lap 9-ish, lap 10 yesterday, and could get to the end quite nicely. Not exactly fast, but basically Gilly's going to have just over 5 laps extra, so they're going to be doing... well, I say that's not exactly the correct maths, but, you know, it's a bit more, which could mean the difference between a puncture and not a puncture. Back in the day, I remember just a few games ago, Blake managed to do, was it 31 laps on a hard tyre until he got a puncture, so that is a possible reference point, unless that was Vibes. Either one, they did a very long stint on one of the tyres, and that kind of gives an idea, even though it's a different game. So 25 laps is definitely possible. Gilly's strategy might not be. That being said, Zingy, do you think it would work if he's going to stay on the hard tyre, wait for more safety cars, slowly build his way up the grid, not pit and just get that track position, and then hope for a later safety car and then pit for a softer tyre?
I mean, to some extent, yeah. I mean, I can see it working if he can stay with the pack, get up into P1 eventually. He will be a bit ahead come that time period, obviously on the fresh hard tyre, but there comes a point where it's too much, if you get what I mean. You know, the tyres are going to die off eventually, every tyre does, and then you'll see them start dropping off the pace drastically, so you need to find that fine balance between sticking it out and pitting at the right time.
Indeed you do. Alright, that is lap 5. We'll start on lap 6 as Larlock catches up to the rest of the pack. That is an interesting one. Hopefully Robbo can rejoin the session. That is not what we want to see. He's in P3 and we're just about to get going again. That is a very unfortunate timed moment there. He's got to be careful. But also, who has to be careful is Tom Brainer. He can't overtake that AI car, because if he does slightly overtake the AI car will back off and then you will get a penalty for that. And unfortunately, that is very unlikely to get removed. So he's got to be careful himself that he doesn't cause any issues and get an illegal overtake.
Yeah, I mean, bit of a spanner in the works there, Robbo. I have invited him back to the session. Hopefully he can get back as soon as he can. Of course, safety car in this lap as Robbo joins back. I'm going to look at the McLaren here. He's overtake... I don't know what's happened there. The AI's overtaken everyone.
The AI could either get a pretty severe penalty very soon, or there's going to be a massive gain, which will have to be looked into after the race, unfortunately. Devon Young's still going to be the one to let the safety car restart go. He's going to lead it. When will he go for it, though? That is the question. He'll have to make that call very soon. Still waiting, weaving the tyres as lots of people are ghosting, and Dave Raptors has ended up coming through. Now that's Robbo slowing. No, it's not. I don't know what's happened to both McLarens. That's going to be Jack Lever out of the race already, sending it to the inside as the Alpina beckon. Can he get him on the exit? I think he might do. He has the inside line. He should have the advantage. Never going to fight that one.
Yeah, good move by Beckett up into P4. Tom Brainer still close behind. Perhaps maybe looking for the move later on. It doesn't look like anything's happening so far. Robbo is still ahead. He did leave the session once again. Robbo having connection issues, so a bit unfortunate for him. But here comes Devin Young. He's already 7/10 ahead of Peanuts. Will be looking to break the DRS? Well, of course he will. But when will be able to do it, should I say? I'm not too sure at the moment. Dave Raptor's actually making the move on Terrence into the right-left chicane, and he's made the move up into 7th.
Very well done. Lots of issues happening at the moment, and it's not exactly what we want to see. It's difficult to deal with. We've had some interesting crashes that maybe shouldn't have happened. If we were to red flag the lobby, we would go for a full restart and everybody would restart, including those who have DNF'd. But it's a bit difficult to say because not everybody's having these issues. That is Flexard getting overtaken by Dave Raptors, who's already on his way to P6 right now. epic overtakes from him. That being said, did he not overtake the majority of the grid during the safety car restart?
Well, from what it looked like, he just got the jump on everyone, managed to sail through, no penalties, so he managed to do it fairly. And yeah, he's up into P6, but you got to be like that sometimes. You got to be a bit cheeky to get the positions, and that's what he's done. He's up into P6. He's the nearest rival is not too far away. There's a big crash there. Monk, Terrence, and Gunter have all had a bit of a coming together at turn 7. No safety car, it looks like, for the moment. But yeah, another crash. This circuit being very difficult is prone to people crashing. And Terrence, has he got punctured? No, he just lost a bit of his wing there. So yeah, that's another 3 people that are going to be miles behind.
It is a heck of a shame. Lots going on. Robbo rejoins the session. I think he's going to rejoin in first by still quite some margin. We'll just double check to see if they are actually taking control of the car or not, or if they disconnect again. The thing is, this has significantly impacted the race result. And I think it would be very unfair to take these results. So I do apologise, everybody. We are going to have to go for a restart. And then we will be back as soon as we can. I really do apologise, everybody. We'll be as quick as we can. Alright, sorry for the delay. We will be going very, very shortly. See you in a bit. Ready? Hold! Go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? We are finally away for the second time this evening. Pole position for Peanuts. Can he get a good run into turn one? It's not good enough, as that is going to be Dave Raptors on the inside line, and it's going to be him into the lead. On the exit to the outside line, now back to the inside as Peanuts. He should have the advantage, and I think he's going to squeeze him out, but no, still the McLaren tries to fight it. Jack Lever yet again retiring from the race, and the safety car is deployed. That is Robbo down.
Yeah, Robbo and Devin Young of all people made a bit of contact. Oh my goodness, I have no idea what's happened there. Devin Young going to have made a bit of contact. Devin's not got a wing. Robbo's down in 16th. And of course, who else would it be? Dave Raptors up in P1. How the turntables.
Easy for him, at least. Not for the others. I don't know what happened. We restarted. We got slightly less dramatic restart. We managed to get to turn 3 before the safety car was deployed instead of turn 1. So that does make a difference, at least. We will get a few front wing changes. I'm not entirely sure what happened exactly, but a lot did happen. And now things are very, very different for certain people. But at least everybody's in the race. Well, most people are in the race for the time being. Very, very close to the limit there for Dave Raptors, trying to look to go into the pit lane. That was just about legal what he just did there, so well done. It is a shame to see Jack Lever out of the Grand Prix a second time in a row in the same night.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, unfortunately, you get that. I mean, on soft tyres, looking to make up a lot of positions at the start, and it just didn't work out for him. Not sure what happened entirely, but turn 1 and turn 3 as well are very, very dangerous for stuff like collisions, so a bit unlucky, but I mean, these things happen sometimes.
It is true. These things do happen. We will be going racing on lap 4 of the Grand Prix. People still making those pit stops. Gilly is now P5, still on the hard tyre, but they're actually a lot further up the grid. This time, around about this time, last time around, they were at the back of the grid, pitting for fresh, hard tyres, so they're finding themselves in a much better position. So, Zingy, Dave Raptors on the softs, how long is that lead going to last, and is it the right strategy to be on?
Well, the soft tyres on the safety car will be doing 1% per lap, of course, just like every other tyre. And he'll have quite a few laps where he'll be absolutely rapid. Don't get us wrong. Dave Raptor's one of the fastest this season, if the fastest. We've seen that time and time again with his multiple race victories. But with the soft tyres, that's just going to amplify that advantage to a point where he might actually get up to 5-6 seconds away from Peanuts before his tyres start dropping off, and by that time where he starts catching up, that could be almost lap 12. Slap on a set of mediums and he can go to the end.
Indeed he can. Indeed he can. Lots of things can change. This circuit is a magical one. It always creates for some, well, great racing. Usually people go, oh no, it's hard to overtake, the leader will win. It's just not true. It never happens. I mean, I just kind of said a bit of a Will Buxton quote there. The leader will win the race, but you know what I mean. The pole sitter will win. It's not true. It is just not true. It doesn't work like that. If Peanuts now goes and wins the race, then he's going to prove me wrong, and I do apologise for miscommunicating that. I'm not saying that he can't win, just to clarify. It's just that it's not always the case around this circuit, according to what people say. I need to stop talking. We will be going racing once again. Dave Raptors will be doing his best to try and break away off the line, and then Flexard also. Can he make his way up the order?
Well, you were talking about pole position and winning the race. Who was on pole on Friday? I was. Did I win? No. When it was Niffle that actually won. So there could be quite a big surprise here, especially with Tom Brady and P3. Do you think what you know what I'm thinking?
He's gonna do a very good job for a while and then get involved in an incident that isn't his fault. that seems to be how his season goes. It's never seemed to really be his fault most of the time, and maybe a few times, but most of the time. Hopefully, this is the race that he will get a good result, and maybe, what Zingy was saying, a podium. It could be possible. Peanuts is going to be the one to react to Dave Raptors. It's not going to be easy, of course, with the tyre difference, but he just needs to be patient and try and hold off the rest of the grid. When will Dave Raptors go for the restart and everybody else follow on from him? We will watch on board with him, looking behind and see, will there be a gap or will there be a perfect reaction from Peanuts? Not going for the restart just yet. Now he goes for it. Very good restart, and he's actually going to get pressured as Peanuts by the Haas into the first corner, looking for P2 if he can, but he doesn't quite get it. Drops back, and he's actually going to be challenged by his good old friend in the Alfa Romeo, Flexard. That is going to be side by side almost. It is still going to be side by side with the Red Bull. The Red Bull's not going to last there, and Ogio unfortunately is down the order already.
Yeah, Ogio goes for a little spin, and looking further up the field, the Mercedes is going to under pressure from Becken, but Devin Young, and all of this is made up the position just about coming into turn 7. A bit of contact is made, forcing him off the track a little bit, just about fair. Devin Young's up into P13. Gunter is absolutely pooing himself right now, seeing the sight of an angry AlphaTauri right behind him, but he can't do anything at the moment. Looking into turn 9, I think it is now, Larlick is under pressure from the Williams of Monk, coming out onto the straight now. It doesn't look like he's going to get a move done, but here comes the Mercedes. Oh no! Nearly a tap in the rear end there, but he managed to keep it. And there's an AlphaTauri, I'm sure, going side by side back there. It's Becken actually, it's Robbo. Robbo's disconnected again.
Robbo's disconnected again. He dropped down the order, then all of a sudden he was gone. Hopefully he can get back in, but unfortunately that looks like it will be as it is. His teammate leads the way, gets the fastest lap and maintains it very nicely. Looking to the inside is the Mercedes. Got to be careful that they don't move in the braking zone. They do have the AlphaTauri, who has strong pace. They also have 1 lap fresher tyres on that medium. Will they go for the outside line and then try and switch back through? A mistake there for the Mercedes is going to compromise both of their exits. He's not even going to be able to get involved, and we could see Becken get involved. No, puts the pressure on Devin Young. Devin Young will then put the pressure in turn on the Mercedes again, and they will continue. Devin Young, will he have the patience to stay behind though? I don't think he will, because he can see that this Mercedes is going very defensive, which means that the best option for you is to go offensive.
Yeah, there goes Monk. He's made the mistake that, I mean, we were waiting for, not him specifically, but I mean, going into that fast right-hander, you touch the curb too much and you go off. Looking at this battle though for P10, Devin Young, Gunter, Becken and Terrence all looking a bit feisty at the moment. Becken trying to look for the switch back at this current time, but he can't seem to get it at the moment. It's all just a bit of a stalemate for now. No one really making any moves. With the DRS enabled. What's happened to Tom Brayner?
I'm not entirely sure, but he's disconnected recently, so unfortunately that's going to be him losing out big time. It's difficult because it does mean that the stream does have to stop, so we'll see if they can get in within a couple of moments, or we might have to change things. We will find out, but other than that, we can only continue driving. That is 2 cars disconnected. No, Robbo is in the race, but he is pretty far behind. On the other side of the pond, though, we have Dave Raptors, who is doing a lovely job, still leading this Grand Prix. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about Robbo. Unfortunately, Tom Brayner has only disconnected once, so it's not impossible for him to be disconnected, re-invited again, but Robbo, it's not looking ideal. We're going to still continue just to watch how this is going for now. Gilly is pretty close to the cars in front, but he has a medium tyre runner in front of him, so it's not going to be so straightforward to actually get involved.
Yeah, I can see that Gilly is also, he's used a bit of his battery compared to most others. People seem to have been conserving theirs, which is a very important theme of this track at Zandvoort. But there's such high downforce and little, like, very heavy braking zones, the ERS doesn't really get replenished much. And here goes Lara, look, no, never mind, he's just passing the disconnected car of Tom Brayner. It looks so JJ just gets through there, but he was putting a bit of pressure, I think, on Larlock. Or did he get overtaken? I'm not too sure.
Not too sure, but he's through. That's Terrence rejoining the lobby. Lots of people disconnecting. Unfortunately, I do apologise for this. We're just going to quickly go off stream a second and try and get those who have disconnected back in. Because you know what, EA, they don't allow people to just join out of their own will. You have to re-invite them manually. So thank you very much to EA for that. I do apologise for the delay, and we will see what we can do. But I think this is going to be a reoccurring problem, unfortunately. And yeah, it's as it's going to be. We see side by side battling here. We have Becken just about to go for the move, and unfortunately that's going to be the Ferrari of JJ round and the disconnect as we see the most important part of the stream. There goes the Mercedes past Larlock, as Larlock is just going to drop down and down and down and down. He gained 1 position but lost even more, unfortunately.
Yeah, this battle for 8th place is very interesting at the moment. We see Becken trying to not only pull away from these lot as he shows a lot of pace, but also catch up to the DRS of Devon, who these guys have front running pace, yeah, but I mean, how far are they away from the lead? I think it is about 8 to 9 seconds. So they've still got a while to catch up. Dave Raptor's absolutely flying out in front, by the way. He's not seeing anyone in a good well. He's just trying to make those soft tires work. And at the moment, he's about 3 seconds ahead. So he's doing as I said he would, but not as much as I would have thought. Only 3 seconds compared to what I predicted, 5 seconds. So maybe struggling with temperatures, perhaps?
It is possible. We've got Monk overtaking his fellow North American, as Larlock will not be able to compete. Those tyres are already dead, and the hard tyre of Monk will get through, and he's going to try and catch up to Gunter if he can. Gunter not having DRS of Becken. Becken making his way up the order. Does have a time penalty, but he is trying his best to make use of maybe getting driver of the day after the grid penalty that he received, unfortunately. Davin, he returns. Davin is in P6 after everything that has happened. Incredible to see. He started at the back of the grid. It is good to see him back. Can we see him go for any overtakes soon? At the moment, no, because a 1.8 second gap isn't going to get you anywhere. He has the tyre to try and catch up, but it's not going to be that easy.
A man possessed driving right now is Tom Brayner. He's looking like he can maybe make the move for P10 at the moment. He's back in the lobby, and look at him, he's so feisty, he's so quick. He's want to look for the overtake on the Williams and Monk. Monk on the curb, tangled up a little bit. Tom Brainer on the DRS straight. He uses that overtake button to perfection and just sails past Monk. He doesn't put up a fight. And although he was in P2, he's down to P10, but he's still making positions up, and back into the points he goes.
This could bring Monk into it if he can get a slingshot. He could get a slingshot past the Mercedes of Gunter. We'll see if Tom can actually get through himself. ERS is being used, DRS is available, and we will go down to turn 1 into the first corner. It's not going to be a slingshot, but it will be a pretty tidy move there for Tom Brainer. Indeed, further up the order, I think we just got a switch up. Did we get a switch up? I'm not entirely sure,
yeah.
But Gilly's P4.
Devon Young making a move on Devon at the moment, and we see Becken. It's over the back of these two guys, so Becken still managed to hang on to Devon Young, but now he's got the Mercedes in the way, coming to turn 7, a lot of dirty air. But with these new cars, it's actually not much of an issue. Becken manages to keep it right close behind, but oh, he now rode that dangerous curb, and for context, that would have sent you off nearly into the wall, so luckily for him, he hasn't made a mistake. Devon making a bit of a mistake, as I say, on the rear end, but nothing changing up thus far. It's very difficult to overtake, especially when you're in a train.
Davin, a former F1 driver in LSI and almost a race winner on a few occasions. He sits in P7 at the moment on his return, trying to get to grips with the new game. DRS is available for Becken, and a lot of ERS is available. He goes on the banking in dirty air, still gets a phenomenal tow. Devon Young knows what he's doing. He's trying to give the Mercedes the tow because he doesn't want to allow the Alpine to get through. I think the Alpine still managed to get it done, sending it to the inside. It's Davin. They're so close. They make a little bit of contact. Swooping around the outside is going to be Davin, but it's not going to be possible. He backs off. That is very well defended and very well fought between these two drivers. And Devon Young now has a few things to think about because he's got yet again another rival that has joined recently in the season to think about.
I mean, yeah, Becken and Devon, that fact, they are all very quick, respectively, at the moment, and it looks as though Becken might have a lot more pace in the car, because Devon, yeah, he looks quick, but Becken just looks like he can throw it in and it just does what he wants. Maybe having a bit of potential reserved in the tank, and speaking of, he's got a bit more ERS reserved in the tank. So, will we use it on this main straight, coming out the banked turn 14, I want to say it is, onto the straight now. You can see the car going up to the side, the downforce really helping it, pushing it down, and onto the main part of the straight now. He's going to use the battery, he's going to swing right down the inside into turn 1, and Becken gets that move done. It looks as though Flexhard and Gilly are having a bit of a scrap at the moment too, and Gilly has made the move up into P3.
There goes the medium tyres. It's time to start thinking about pitting.
Oh, no.
Davin is out of the race, and that is going to be him into the wall at the third turn, fourth turn, and unfortunately that's going to be another safety car, and it's going to mix everything up. All of a sudden that gap that Dave Raptors had just gained is unfortunately done. But he can pit on a pretty standard strategy. The hard tyre runners, like yesterday, are going to have to pit a little bit earlier than they would have liked to.
I think it's a bit, well, obviously it's a little bit earlier than their scheduled pit stop, but it's a few laps later than what it was on the F1 race, so those medium tyres, it'll be a different scenario. They could make it to the end, but do we know if they can extend and just go to the end, or is it better doing another stop? We don't know. I think with this scenario, because they are about 4 or 5 laps fresher, it might be better to just stick it out. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a stick it out race, you know. I think we're going to be going for a long time, and they're going to try their best. The problem is they're not going to have a chance at competing against the other hard tyre runners, such as Dave Raptors, who is, although losing that gap, in a golden position, because now the cars behind him are in an interesting position themselves, and that is going to be peanuts. On the soft tyre he goes to, unless that was a mistake, he's going to try and do a bit of a master plan strategy, go for a softer compound now, and then go for a set of mediums later on in the Grand Prix.
It's either a mistake, or he's got a big pair of nuts, I'll tell you that for a fact. Because softs Well, maybe he's doing something smart here, Aaron. Maybe he's going to go soft for about 9 laps. Once those advantages start coming to the cars around him, he'll pit for the mediums and then go to the end. That could be our very favourite strategy. I haven't really thought about that.
It is true. It is true. Now, he's going to try and get the softer compound done earlier, and then maybe focus on consistency later. And to be honest, safety cars, we haven't had a sparse amount. We've had quite a few, to say the least. So he will probably be able to pit in decent conditions anyway. He has sped under the pit lane, I believe, though. I assume and hope that that isn't a track limit warning. Beckin does have a track limit warning, actually. So yeah, that Peanuts is currently with a 5-second penalty, so they are going to have to pit and serve that, unfortunately, later on, which could make the difference between winning and losing this race, unless we get another safety car for them to make a pit stop. Or are they going to go straight onto the set of hards now and try and go to the end? I think it would be very devastating if they did do, but it is what it is.
I mean, you got to stick out there, no? Yeah, he's going to stay out and he's going to commit to the strategy. Now, I hope he doesn't do a double soft, because you seen with the medium tyres, they'll hit a phase, they'll just die off. And if the medium tyres do that, you know for a fact the softs will do the exact same. So Peanuts needs to get the timing of the pit stop perfectly, so he can use the medium tyres and soft perfectly, but also not lose too much time. So not only is it about being quick, it's also about being smart with your pit stop time.
It is true. And we'll see how that goes later on. We're about to go for the restart. Dave Raptor's on pole. At the start, I should say, at the beginning, at the front of the grid. Finally got my word out, and then Peanuts in P2. Flexard, I do feel sorry for him. He was on a perfect strategy, but unfortunately, the safety car has mixed that up, and then now for him, Dave Raptors is on a pretty decent strategy, and to go to the end of the Grand Prix, he should be able to do it. So that advantage that Flexard had, it's no longer. Gilly in P4, Bad Monkey is in P5. Considering that he DNF'd on the first corner of the race, he is going to have to be counting his blessings right now, because he's in a golden opportunity. And then we have Beckin, Devon Young, Tom Brain and Monk Oggio, Gunter, Terence, Lalek and JJ in P14. But we are about to go once again racing. We'll go on board with Dave Raptors and look behind us. The safety car makes its way into the pit lane yet again this evening, yet again in F1.5 EU. And Dave Raptors, the championship leader, competing with the brand new race winner of Peanuts in P2. Who is going to win again? Who is going to win instead? We might get a new race winner. When will Dave Raptors go for the restart? It is going to be in a few seconds, surely, as the safety car has reached the pit lane now. And you go for the restart. There you go. Peanuts doesn't react too well. There's going to be a few cars who want to try and get on top of this. We have the Ferrari on the inside. Are they going to send it on the brakes? They're not going to send it on the brakes. They're going to let it go for now. Everybody else are kind of in single file. I say that, though. We do have a couple people side by side. That was a Red Bull looking for an overtake at some point there.
Yeah, Oggio and Gunter are going side by side as we see Oggio now up the inside of Monk into turn 4. It looks as though he has so much more grip than Monk for some reason. He just...
Interesting.
He's getting...
Yeah. Sorry, you cut out there, Zingy. Carry on.
Yeah, oh no, it looks as though Flexard has made a bit of a mistake, and Beckin is absolutely sent one up the inside of Monkey, going into the chicane now. On the exit, he's got some marbles on his tyres, but no, Monkey decides, well, he keeps his position, and Devon Young is now going to go around the outside. A bit of contact between the Alpine and AlphaTauri, and it's Devon Young up into P6.
That is Tom Brainer going further down the order. You almost had a Williams to the inside as well, but the Williams is going to have to hold off for now, stay in the race, and then maybe look for an overtake a little bit later on. Peanuts goes for the fastest lap as he's right behind and going for the lead of the Grand Prix into the first corner on the exit. He'll have the grip. Will Dave Raptors actually fight this? He is going to fight it, interestingly. I am not expecting that one. He doesn't want to allow the soft tyre to get away, but it is just inevitable. They will eventually do it.
Yeah, Peanuts made the move into P1 and further back. Oh no, Monkey and Devin, it looks as though made a bit of contact. The two teammates collide, and Tom Brainer is also at the session, and it's another safety car. F1.5 and safety car, they just can't keep away from it. It's a massive crash, you can see there. Wow, yeah, I have no idea what happened. That was a bit. Well, I'm speechless.
It's what happens when you get people racing very closely and aggressively, and it's unfortunately occurring a lot more often than we would like. Would it call for the safety car feature to be turned off for future races? It will have to be considered. It will also mean that many drivers would have to try and think about what they're doing a little bit more. We'll see. Now, Peanuts, will he go into the pit lane on these soft tyres, or is he going to stay out? He's going to stay out. Is that really the best thing to do?
I wouldn't have said so. Who is in? Is anyone in? Everyone's just ducking and faking. Augio's in. I think did Augio have a bit of damage though? He was near. No damage. Doesn't look like anyone's got damage. The Red Bulls are stacking. Larlick's gonna get held up. Excuse me. And Monkey does have a lot of damage though. That front wing is completely gone. And he's gonna be down towards the back of the grid. So yeah, a few people pitting for mediums. And although it's only 4 or 5 laps, I mean, we've seen the difference tyres can make. It can be up to 2.5 seconds a lap, isn't that right?
It is true. And that's what we saw yesterday. It's very significant. The more the downforce is increased, the more crucial that tyre wear is. And lap 17 out of 36, we only have 12 drivers remaining on the grid. That is a significant amount of, out of the race already. 5 cars will not be crossing the line. You still need to try and make 2 positions if you want to be guaranteed points, as everybody is a current tier driver or reserve driver that are classed as scoring points. No driver is a higher tier driver, so everything is to play for. Time penalty wise, of course, it's a little bit different. People have to consider those kind of things for later on in the Grand Prix. Dave Raptor's still in a strong position at the moment. Safety car not going to be going in this lap. Would anybody try and go for the absolute crazy idea of pitting again, even though the safety car has been run for a little while now? I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, yeah, obviously you could pit for new tyres, but you want to pit on the lap the safety car comes out, so you don't lose as many places. If someone like Peanuts and Dave Raptors, which they haven't, but if they did decide to pit, you know, you're going to lose all those positions, you're going to be back P12. And I'm not saying that it's bad to be there in terms of battling wise, because you can definitely get some good battles. We've seen it already today, there's been a good few battles, but the issue is the risk of trying to overtake someone on older tyres. They might not have as much grip, might not have as much confidence as you do, and then because you're not coinciding with each other, it might be cause for an incident.
You're right, well said. Hopefully this is the last of it and we don't get any more incidents and we can have a nice clean race to the end, because there's nothing worse than a Grand Prix having a sprint at the end with a safety car very late on, because it just creates for lots of interesting racing and drama, which is not what you want at the end. You want an exciting race at the end, but a fair one for sure. Peanuts will be leading for the restart this time. His peak grip on this tyre will unfortunately have depleted, so he might not be able to hold on to the lead for a while. He's got to be careful with that, of course. But Dave Raptors, will he be careful with it? Will he try and clear the Aston Martin as soon as possible, or will he just hold on and play it safe, because he's in a golden position? He's got time penalties all around him, but not on him.
Well, I mean, if you're Dave Raptors, personally for me, before they get these guys started, I would want to try and pressurise the soft runner, make him lose as much time as possible, so when he does pit, he's got a lot more to catch up. That's just me. However, the safety car in this lap, and I'll let you take it away for the restart.
When will he go for it? Peanuts leads the way yet again, and he's gone for the restart. Perfect from him. Dave Raptors was not able to react. Will anybody else react further behind? Yes, we will have an AlphaTauri to the inside. Will we actually get a send from him, though? He will not go for the inside. He knew that he had the Alpine on his inside as well, but he didn't actually manage to get anything either, so they're playing it fairly cautious. Don't want another safety car already. Just try and get in a rhythm, and then we can continue with this race, and he does a good job of it so far. Will he try and go for send, though? It's not really what you usually expect from Devon Young, but it is what it is. He continues in the race for now, and we will see. He's got the Ferrari up in front, and he wants to try and get a move on that medium tyre.
Oh no!
Dave Raptors! Dave Raptors! I didn't know what was going on. Dave Raptors, the championship leader, is down the order after a big moment. Lots of people making moves. That's Oggio in front of Gunter. That is Terence. That is JJ. Then it's Dave Raptors. P10 still in a points position, but instead of looking for the net race lead, he is now down significantly. And the net race leader is P3 Gilly. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I don't know if it's here or not, but Dave Raptors made a massive mistake. What did I say? I said about the curb having a lot of issues. Flex started in the pits. I don't know why. It looks no damage, it looks thus far. But yeah, Dave Raptors down to P9. He's got all those cars to overtake. What did I say about that curb? And what did I say about overtaking? And speaking of, here goes Oggio out of nowhere. He's going to go right around the outside of Becken up into P4. Oggio seems to have good pace on those very fresh, medium tyres compared to people around him. So Oggio has got a great chance at the moment to try and get himself up into a podium position.
Still going to be a long way on this medium tyre, but not impossible. He's got to be aggressive while he can be, and then try and defend later. That is the only way that he's going to make this work. So unfortunately for him, he's going to have to go full send, and that takes a lot of effort. We have Gilly in the other medium tyre situation. He is in a good position as well, but he's got cars very, very hungry and right behind him. Peanuts actually 2.0 seconds already in front of the rest of the field. That's an absolutely perfect job from them. They've got not much pressure, but strategy-wise, they have a lot of pressure on themselves.
I mean, yeah, Gilly 2.1 behind. He's going to be pressurised from the AlphaTauri there, you know. Gilly, I mean, 8 lap. They got the same same lap on the tyre, but the hard tyres will degrade much less than the medium. So Devon, at this point in time, might actually have the advantage, but then Oggio's got the advantage on Devon Young, and that might cause a bit of complications because, of course, Devon doesn't want to be overtaken, but Gilly's going to defend very hard for this position, and he'll have to do for the next 15-16 laps, so it might get a bit messy for the podium positions.
It for sure will, and if these guys do fight, it will only allow Peanuts to break away, and that's exactly what he needs to happen, because this time penalty that he's been plagued with around the Dutch Grand Prix circuit, where hardly anybody gets track limit warnings, is only going to be worse. Actually, no, Becken, has the track limit warning, but it's Peanuts that also has a time penalty, so it's really going to be a problem for him, and he wants to try and find himself a clean space to pit and not be impeded, so then when he does get on a fresh set of tyres, he can break away. That is going to be Devon Young unleashing the move, and I don't think Gilly's going to have a chance to actually defend it whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, Devon Young flew right past him, and now Oggio is going to be all over Gilly. Gilly just doesn't seem to have the grip at the moment. Doesn't look like it. He's just struggling to stay with Devon into the braking zone of turn 4. You can just see how confident Oggio is compared to the Ferrari driver. And Becken is still there, of course, but is Becken the one that had the 3 second? Yes, he's got the track limit. So he's going to have to make his way up the field very, very quickly and pull a gap out. It looks as though Dave Raptors is still stuck behind everyone. He's P10, so he's actually lost a position. I know he was P10 before someone pitted, and now he's going to go for the move down the inside of Monkey, going into the right-left of chicane before the DRS straight. He defends very well, holds it inside and retains position, but Dave Raptors is not giving up yet. He's looking to the inside of the last sector. Oh no, he's made a bit of contact with the AlphaTauri. Thankfully, he keeps it in a straight line, and he's going to get the DRS off these cars in front, so he should be able to defend, although it looks a bit difficult for him at the moment.
Indeed it does. Hopefully it doesn't have any damage. It could be possible, but there's a big train going off in front, and that is going to be a switch up there. You can see Gunter having to give the position up, but still going for the move as the AlphaTauri of Bad Monkey, despite being in that DRS train. Would he still want to try and get a bit of a launch? I'm not entirely sure. We have Ogyo also looking at Gilly. Will they actually have a go on the exit? We've still got side by side. That is Dave Raptors not able to get it, and here we go. Ogyo to the outside line, down the hill we go. Turn 7, he finds the marbles, he finds the understeer, loses the front, and he's going to have to still stay behind for the time being.
Ogyo putting the pressure on Gilly at the moment. He doesn't crack easily, this guy. One of the better drivers are not cracking under pressure and getting penalties, but that won't really help him this race. It's very hard to get track limit warnings, and Ogyo on the fresher tyres though has found that advantage through pitting on the safety car, and he will manage to get through it. No, but look how close he gets into every corner.
Dave Raptors is unfortunately round. He missed his braking point, and luckily he didn't collect JJ. That was a very close call. Unfortunately, he's going to have a lot of hard work to do that he just made earlier. He's going to have to try and think of a different strategy. Peanuts into the pit lane, so he is going to think of a different strategy already.
And he got a 5-second penalty too, so that's practically his race over. JJ, what a move down the inside into turn 1. That is absolutely phenomenal. Miles back, he's got the car stopped for turn 1, and he sends it up the inside, and that's him up into P6. The top 5 is looming right there. Terrence is going to be the next car for him, but my goodness, what an overtake from JJ.
Absolutely perfect job from him there. JJ to P6. We've got Gilly losing the position to Ogyo. Ogyo finally makes that move. Devon Young leads the way, and now you've got the medium tyre runner in P2. Is he going to try and go for the lead of the Grand Prix? Is he going to try and win this race? Beckham sitting in P4 at the moment. He can't get through. This DRS train is just so powerful. They're finally switching up, and his tyres might switch on, but he's still got a very hard job to get done with the double DRS, just cancelling it out. I say it again and again and again and again because it is true. We've got Bad Monkey, who's very close to the back of that Mercedes now. The Mercedes not able to stay with the cars in front, so maybe he has an issue here.
Yeah, Gunter having a bit of issues on the ERS. You can see that flashing light, but looking further up ahead, JJ into turn 1 on Terrence, making it look like light work. Up the inside goes Bad Monkey. Can he squeeze his way through? Gunter actually gave him the space when he actually wasn't there, which is a bit interesting. Gunter being respectful, so is Bad Monkey, and that's a good move up into P7. And now Terrence on those older hard tyres, it just looks so he can't get them fired up at the moment, so that's going to be Bad Monkey's next target.
Awesome job there from Bad Monkey. He's making his way through the order.
Backing up the inside of Gilly, coming out at turn 8, that is an audacious move, that's for sure. But he's made it work. A bit of a back end loss, but he maintains position. Gilly looking for any crumbs, try to see if he can pick off anything from that mistake, but no. Becken made his way up into P3. That's a great overtake.
Awesome job there from him. Becken finally on the podium position, and the tyres, they might actually be okay. He's got that time penalty, so he's going to have to try and work together with the guys in front to prevent anybody else behind gaining that advantage. Maybe looking at survival rather than gaining a chance at looking for the win. That is going to be a safety car deployed. That time penalty talk will no longer exist, unfortunately. That is Bad Monkey spinning, or being involved in a crash at least, on the inside of the bank section there.
That's unfortunate. His debut was going very well. He just made the overtake for P7 and looked as though he was to be pressurising Terrence, but no. I don't know what happened. Maybe a mistake, maybe a bit of contact. No one's really replacing a front wing, so maybe just a bit of misfortune on the tyres. Maybe just making a mistake. Who knows? But this allows Peanuts to clear one or maybe both of his penalties, which he might be at the back, but I'm sure he would have loved.
Unfortunately, Flexard has got another penalty as they go into the pit lane. We are going to be getting some people going onto the soft tyre. Nobody will be held up by the safety car though, so everybody's on a delta. That does mean that everybody's going to be able to pit because we did overtake the safety car. So it's not going to be like some people miss out and some people don't. It is going to be how it goes at the moment. But Devon Young, he has got the call to make. Will he try and stay out? Which is just going to be no question. Why would he? He's going to go either onto the softs or the mediums. I think the mediums, in my opinion, would be the one to go. It's just whether he has them available.
Well, I would like to take you up on that argument that the safety car is going to be out for a little while. Oggio doing what I think is the best strategy is going on to the soft tyre. Becken and Devon Young also doing the same thing. It looks as though everyone's going for the soft tyre. Terence in the pits, serving that 5 seconds, he's also on the soft. It looks as though it's just going to be a show towards the end. Larlick will eventually come in for those soft tyres too, I presume. Yep, coming into the pit lane right now, he will do.
Everybody except from Gunter are all on the same tyre. That is one way to spoil the party. Actually, no, that will be, I believe, Peanuts and Larlook. Of course, having that issue. Talking about Peanuts, we completely forgot that they had just pitted and then the safety car had come out. They've gone from looking at a P1 to all of a sudden being dead P last and being on exactly the same tyre as everybody else with a time penalty.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but you can still make some points from here. There may be some instances up front. Remember, sprint towards the end can be very aggressive. It can be very costly for some drivers. It also gives others some opportunities. Dave Raptor's up at the P6. He's still there, man. He was battling for P10 a few moments ago, and now he's back up at the P6. No bother whatsoever. So he could still salvage something out of this and just retain that championship advantage.
For sure he can. For sure he can. Every opportunity is a second opportunity right here. We won't be go racing just yet, but we do know that everybody's going to be basically on the same tyre. So we remove that overlay from our screen and it's going to be pure racing. So maximum view with the overlay on, of course. That is always good to see. But DRS isn't available because we're under the safety car conditions. Just wanted to let you know, just in case you weren't actually sure about that. The Aston Martin does lead the way, but that is not a Formula 1 car. That's actually a GT car, believe it or not. Devon Young actually leads the way as a Formula 1 car. Oggio P2, Becken in P3 with that time penalty. He's not going to be happy with this safety car because his race was actually in not the best, but one of the best situations it could have been in because he was creating a gap to the rest of the field. Now, not so much, and he might lose out towards the end of this race.
You want to know a fun fact?
Go for it.
Barrett Marlander has led more laps than Robbo over the season.
I mean, it's true.
I don't mean to insult him, but for someone who's been fighting at the front all the time to now being caught in incidents a lot of the time, getting his nose dirty, and having these poor qualifyings which result in these issues. I know this race he disconnected, but with the exception of that, you can go back a few races and see, it's been unfortunate for him this season. He was looking for a championship, and now it looks so Dave Raptors will be getting that as a safety car as in this lap. Please, for the last time, we've got 8-9 laps to go, and it's going to be a massive sprint to the end.
It's all on the Constructors' Championship. AlphaTauri are leading this race, but not quite the Constructors. Dave Raptors is in P6, trying to just score points and prevent that gap from being closed down too much. Devon Young is the one to lead the safety car restart, and that is going to be Oggio that will be reacting. These two do communicate. They aren't teammates, of course, but they are communicating, so they will probably know when one another is going to go for the restart. And Beckham will have to really think about how this one goes. He's already gone for the restart. Oggio does react, but you see he loses the car a little bit, unfortunately. So he's got to be really careful with that one. We have Dave Raptors. Will he already go for that send into the first corner? Surely he will. There's going to be a 3-wide moment almost on the inside. Dave Raptors makes that jump to the inside, and that is also going to be Flexard Terence side by side through the bank sections to the outside line. Will he get the traction down if he can? I don't think so. He's going to have to back off. That is a brilliant job there for Terence. He maintains that position. Peanuts makes the move on Larlock.
Dave Raptors into turn 7, we go now. He's right on the back of Gilly, but it doesn't look like he can make the move at the moment further back. There doesn't seem to be any movement at the moment. But Peanuts is looking over the back of the Alfa Romeo, but nothing doing thus far. Dave Raptors again, look at the gap, 1/10 between him and Gilly. He's right up behind the gearbox of the Ferrari, but he can't seem to do anything. It looks as though you really need to force the move, without DRS I mean, in order to actually get something done here. So for the moment, nothing's really happening.
DRS will be available shortly. It's just whether anything happens drastically and we get another safety car. Hopefully we don't. Gilly, though, is going to be overtaken by Dave Raptors as he's got such a run. Decides to go last minute to the left-hand side. Almost crashes with the other car. We also get JJ now battling with another car. This time he's going to try and get Ferrari up the order rather than down the order. But I don't think he's going to have the track position. He's going to have to back off and give it up for that attempt. We've got Devon Young leading the way, Oggio sitting in P2, and they're breaking away as Becken wasn't able to capitalise on that start, and Dave Raptors now is looking to overtake him.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Raptors already now up into P3, as we see, I think that's Flex Hard and Peanuts just making a bit of a mistake. Devon Young, meanwhile, was 7/10 ahead at the start of this lap, and now it's 4. There's not been DRS as of yet. It looks as though, well, it was enabled this lap, but it looks as though he's just made that mistake because Oggio hasn't got it. And coming into the last few corners now, although the battery situation looks a bit more dire for Oggio than it does Devon Young, he might be sizing up that move very soon. Or it's not activated this lap, it's the next lap is activated.
Next lap I believe so, but I should say that Becken is doing their absolute best to hold on. They're almost within attacking range of catching up to the rest of the field, and that would bring pretty easily pretty much most of the drivers into the battle. Gunter is the one that splits the field at the moment right there. Dave Raptors, though, he just is looking pretty quick, and Becken's got a lot to think about. But that being said, 7/10 all of a sudden has appeared between these two guys, and it's not looking so easy after all.
Yeah, I know, it's just the gaps going back and forth. Maybe people struggling a lot for temperature issues. I mean, we know that this track is killer for the tyres. You're just going left and right, 150 mile an hour, 200s at some points, you know. So it's very difficult for the tyres to get a rest and people making mistakes and the gap just fluctuating. But there's a battle, there's a clear battle for the top 4. Gilly trying to get in on the Act 2. There is 5 laps to go. And F1 in the top 5 is very close. There's a bit of a gap to Gunter, JJ and Terrence who are also in the little mini scrap, and then you get Larlick and Flex Hard behind, who are just struggling at the moment for just to find pace.
2 Red Bull teams are leading the race at the moment, and that is of course Peanuts the pole sitter unfortunately out of the race, but Becken, he has got a lot to think about. His good old friend has unfortunately now disappeared. It doesn't matter though, he's going to go even more aggressive than ever before. Looks to the inside line momentarily on Oggio. Would he try and get a better run up the hill? I don't think he would. He really just needs to try and work together and hope that these guys don't fight. At the end of the day, as of we know right now, he's not going to be able to make any moves. Looked for a send almost there, so I think he knows that he's got a bit of pace in that car and he wants to break away.
You see Devon Young there making an absolutely massive mistake on the rear end, just like he did in qualifying, but he actually kept it again. And Oggio he must be looking for the move. If I'm Oggio right now, I am absolutely pooing myself. I see Becken behind me. He's looking awfully feisty, and I want to get ahead of that AlphaTauri Devon Young. Everyone seems to have a similar pace at the moment, but track position might be vital. As we see Becken, look at that rocket ship in a straight line. He's going to go up the inside of Oggio and Devon Young. He's going to have the defence coming into one. A bit of contact is made between the two. Oggio tries to make it free wide. He can't get it on the traction. And it looks as though Devon Young has just retained the lead of the Grand Prix from Becken. But it's also close here. Again, Devon making a mistake. Those tyres must be cooked in the rear end. He's struggling so much. And Dave Raptors is here waiting to pick up the spoils.
Becken just had to reluctantly return the position, unfortunately, but overall he has gained that P2 position now, and now he's a clear shot at going for P1. According to him, he might be going for the lead of the Grand Prix. According to everybody else, he is probably just going to drop back, so they might actually let him go and maybe go for the move on the last lap if they can plan the DRS trick, the old tactics, as they should be to perfection, of course. But Devon Young, he is still trying to defend and hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix. He doesn't want to lose out on track, and he knows that it's better if he keeps a couple cars in between him and Dave Raptors, his championship rival. And that's actually me, Dave Raptors, looking for the move already, so we're going to get a double overtake. We could get Dave Raptors going to the inside for the lead of the Grand Prix. He's going to look at Devon Young. That is going to be Becken just about in front as he lost the rear, almost ended it all. But Becken now, does he have the opportunity? Does he have the pace to break away? And Devon Young, will he end up losing out to Dave Raptors, who's gone from first to last? It's an incredible one.
Yeah, Dave Raptors going from absolutely nowhere, seemingly out of the race, to battling for the win once again. This is 1.5 for you. You don't know what's going to happen until the checkered flag falls, and even then it can still be a bit crazy. With a 2 and a bit laps to go, you can just see the gap between everyone bunched up. Gilly's also in this fight. Who would have thought it? Coming into the DRS straight for the third to last time. You can see Olgio flashing like he's used all his battery. It looks as though everyone's used basically all their battery, although you can't see it on the dash. You can see that battery is incredibly low for everyone. They're pushing the limit, they're pushing the tyres, they're pushing the fuel, and they're pushing themselves to the limit. They don't want to go over it because you make a mistake, like Devon Young has been doing. However, this is a chance to redeem himself into turn 1. Dave Raptors is right there also, so he can't make a mistake. He can't battle too much. Becken. Oh no, Devon Young's made a mistake. Oh no, he's lost it on the grass, but he just managed to keep the position. Wow, I don't know what's happened there, but Devon just lost a bit of focus and nearly the car.
Very, very slight moment of contact, and now he's lost his concentration even more, getting frustrated with himself, using all the battery to try and catch back up. And now Dave Raptors is going to see that and think this is going to be the easiest thing ever. Doesn't have much energy either, but he has a little bit more, not focus, because I've said that word already, but he's kind of brought himself together a bit more. Devon Young has had about half a lap, so he's good to go. Yesterday, lap 34 was uncertain who was going to win the Grand Prix. This time as well, it's exactly the same thing. Becken is in a strong position to at least cross the line first. Devon Young, as we know, is going to win this Grand Prix, but Dave Raptors will have probably his last main opportunity to go for the lead of the Grand Prix. It's going to be a double DRS overtake. He's going to have to hope that his setup is good enough to get the exit, and it will be. To the inside line goes Dave Raptors for the net lead of the race, and he has it. I think he has it. Going so wide was Devon Young. He couldn't compete. That is going to be that one done. Dave Raptors, would he even try and go for the lead on track as well? We've got Oggio who wants to try and get involved on the AlphaTauri, but I don't think they can. Getting so close as well, but no time penalties to benefit from his side today. Dave Raptors and Devon Young, I think it's still the question between these two, as Becken is maintaining and breaking away with that gap. He's got the energy to use, these two don't. So Devon Young, will he dare try and send it to the inside and keep the Constructors' Championships hopes alive, or is it going to be how it will go? Dave Raptors has done an epic job today. Becken, heroic. It's a best attempt at going for the lead. If it wasn't for that time penalty, he would be doing a phenomenal job. He will come around the final corner and he will be looking to cross the line first, but Dave Raptors comes around the final corner to win the Dutch Grand Prix. Epic racing from him. Becken gets P5 in the end, and Devon Young with Oggio following him to the podium as well.
What a race, huh? Right into the last lap once again at Zandvoort. It's always a racetrack you can depend on for great racing, and it's shown up once again with Dave Raptors going from the front of the field all the way to last, and then somehow he's won. I don't get this guy, he's insane.
They don't make it easy for us in the commentary box. We try our best, but it was not an easy one. JJ gets driver of the day, staying in it after all that's gone on. The safety cars, the crashes, the drama, the overtakes. It has been a mental one. We will get a quick podium celebration from the man himself, and then we will get the results as usual. Dave Raptors takes the win, Devon Young in P2, then Oggio, Gilly, Becken, JJ, Terence, Gunter, Larlick, Flexard, and Peanuts DNFing, followed by iBad Monkey, Monk, Tom Brainer, Davin, and Robbo with Jack Lever earlier on in the Grand Prix. We're going to look for the race director just in case. Incidents as well, and then we will finally go to the pit stops for the final time. We will be back in a bit for the post-race interviews. We will see you just in a minute. I want to get the results one more time so we can get all the time penalties. We'll be back in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the post-race interviews of the Dutch Grand Prix. That was a crazy one. Dave Raptors, where do you start? P2 to last to P1. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, I mean, not another tough race. I think I made it tough once again, probably overly pushing on them hard, but I mean, I think overall, just another fun one coming back through the grid. I quite like the I kind of don't mind dropping back sometimes and having a little race of the field, and obviously, you know, P1 trap P1 after penalties is always nice to see. I definitely somehow each Saturday somehow whip up a setup that's going to be much better, because every Friday I race, I'm so terrible with setup, and I'm just never there. And then Saturday I just turn up. So I'm thankful that's happening at the moment. Yeah, but I think once again, just another great race and some really good battling with some of the drivers at the front, and some good battling with the rear drivers. I think there was a couple of incidents, but nothing too major. So overall, just a great race.
Yeah, well done. It's always a lot sweeter when you do win the Grand Prix, so I guess that helps. But you've done a very good job. Well done. Congratulations. Another one, and if not already in previous races, you are definitely cementing your place to securing that championship. I'm pretty sure you've already got it, but we'll double check after the stream and then confirm it next weekend if it is true. But well done, Dave. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Almost bottling again.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. Well done.
Cheers, man.
We move on to Devon Young. Devon, that was not easy. Not easy. Just lost out in the end.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, really. Yeah, overall, it was quite fun. I think, like Dave said, like quite a good battle at the front. Had a few like incidents just throughout the race. Just like I'm not sure why. I don't really know like what happened, but that's racing, I guess. But no, honestly, it was a fun race, and I think once again the safety car sort of changed things up. A lot of people on, well, obviously not at the end, but throughout the race, a lot of people on different sort of strats. So sort of fun to see, what was happening with all the tyres and stuff. But no, good race.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's not over until it's over, so those safety cars do make things very, very hard, but it does mean that any good driving that you've done early on is kind of irrelevant if the safety car does come out.
Yeah.
But still, well done. Great performance. It was looking like you had it in the bag, but unfortunately not quite in the end. Very, very good effort. Thank you very much again for some very, very entertaining racing. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Well, I think, because you said, I think Dave's won the championship now, so I'll just say, well done, Dave. That's my 3 words.
Thank you very much. Very respectful, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. And we move on to Flexard. Flexard, that was crazy. It was looking like you were doing a great job. At the beginning, I believe, was that the second restart? You were looking like you might have even been on course to win that race with the strategy, but that first safety car just kind of depleted the momentum.
Yeah, well, so I think a win would have been very difficult, but I mean, the podium would have been possible, I think. The guys on the front, they're extremely fast. I lost 2 seconds like after every restart in the first few laps, so I think win is far out of my reach. Though during the safety car, well, I got a drive-through penalty again. Completely on me. I was somewhat focused on other things. Yeah, but in the end, I mean, if it wouldn't have been for that drive-through, I mean, would have been a podium. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It is a shame, but at least the potential's there. You know that you had the opportunity to get there. So it's progress, and we're finally getting to see you have those good opportunities come around. You just need to get everything to come your way. So hopefully it does. Come on, you could do it. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Fun, competitive, unfocused.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Well done today. Great effort. And we move on to Ogio. That is a podium, my friend. How about that?
Yeah, I finally got it. Especially, it's been a long time since I got it.
Yeah, Japan was the last one you got. Do you think you could have gone for the win, or were you holding back there to try and help out your fellow Red Bull driver?
No, I don't think I can got it. It was just Devon and back in the day was just way too quick. There was nothing I could do.
I mean, you were doing a great job originally, so well done, and thank you very much for some great racing. A lot of sens involved, and it's always good to see you up there. Thank you very much, Ogio. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Lots of... no, that's for... many dodgy moments.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. And we move on to Terence. Terence, connection issues. What didn't you have today? It was absolutely mental. Is this a race to forget?
No, because I think the disconnection is in the first not the second restart.
The first one.
and
The first one.
the first one, and I know that I'm not competitive in this track because I have tested, but I'm lucky to maintain my car on the track, so not the DNF, and try to if the strategy of other cars is the same to me, I'm just trying to defend as hard as I can and leave the space up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that my internet can accept me to do that for the wheel defense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least it fixed itself for later on, and hopefully this means good things for the future races. Thank you very much, Terence. And one last question: how would you describe your race in 3 words?
Pace for defense.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on Today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Tom Brainer. Tom, up and down, and then unfortunately not quite the way you wanted it to end. Can you take us through that one?
At the start, I've got great pace. I could hold on to the guys in front, even Dave on the softs, I think, at the beginning. He wasn't much quicker than I. Then the connection loss, I think, wasn't the fault of my internet, because I've done so many speed tests today because of what happened yesterday. So my internet should be good enough for that, and I think the servers just have their problems momentarily. Then I tried to fight myself back up. I mean, I've overtook 3 guys in 2 laps, and then after the battle with Agio, Monk was just popping up out of nowhere. I didn't see him, and then we just collided. So I apologize for this incident, but yeah, it's so unlucky. I mean, I've got the pace for like top 5, maybe podium.
It's a shame. I'm gonna say though, don't let this get you down. You've done a very, very good job, and the effort that you've put in is absolutely immense, and it is only going to get better. You are going to get good results if you continue to do this. Thank you very much, Tom. It's not the way you wanted it to go, but it's definitely progress. We can see it. We can see it from our side. I know it's not showing it on the results, but you are doing well. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I am mad.
Thank you very much, and hopefully it goes better next time. Thank you. And I am always amazed how these guys can come up with 3 words for their races in a short amount of time. It's absolutely amazing. I could not do it, and I'm a commentator. I'm meant to be talking live, and I can't think of 3 words to describe the race. Just manic, that's all I'll say. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, as we have a break week next weekend. Enjoy Las Vegas then. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.